Hi there and welcome to this session on Bēhance. I'm hearing some echoing, so I need to get rid of that. So thank you for joining me on this this very sad-looking Sunday afternoon. In my case, I am in Rotterdam at the moment, or near Rotterdam actually. And let's turn off the audio. Perfect. So what I wanted to do was actually relax a bit on this Sunday, but yeah, the weather is awful outside, so I wanted to stay in and do a rainy afternoon session on Bēhance, while figuring out Adobe Character Animator. A fantastic tool to create animation in when you're not that good at animating, but like to work in Photoshop or in Illustrator. So let's go over my social channels. Also very important to start off with. So if you want to follow me, please do so on one of these channels. It's easy to find me with my last name. So if you know my last name, which is difficult, Klaasner, then you can find me on all these social channels. And I recently started a new channel on Instagram with my students, my animation students. So if you want to know more about that, please let me know, because that's going to be a great spot for them to showcase their footage on. So without further ado, I hope that you're having a very great time today, and let's get started with this session. So let's do some screen sharing. There we go. And this is the welcome screen, if you will, from Adobe Character Animator. Please let me know if you already have worked with Character Animator, and if you like it, or if you haven't, let me know as well. Because I'm going to go over the basics, and let's start off with explaining what Character Animator exactly is. It's an animation tool. Quite a young tool, if I must say so, just a couple of years old, and it's got a really great set of features already. But the thing that you need to know is that your character needs to be a layered character in Photoshop or in Illustrator. So if you know your way to work with layers in both of those tools, then you can easily create a character which will function. And the beauty of Character Animator is that you don't by default need to do much on animation, but it will follow your lead. So if you're looking into the camera and start saying these beautiful sentences, Character Animator will follow along and do the lip syncing, the gestures in your face, the facial expressions. Everything will work correctly. So let's start off with taking a look at well, let's do Chloe in Photoshop. And I will cover my own animation in Illustrator later on. But this is Chloe. Let's turn on the microphone. And this is actually a Photoshop file. So if we would take a look in Photoshop on this character, we would see a layer for the complete character, a group set for the head, a group set for the body, and every single part of the body is another layer. Also, all these mouths that you see talking at the moment, all these mouths are separate layers as well. A very important thing is with Character Animator that all these layers need to be named correctly in order to let Character Animator understand how to animate it. So if we take a look at the rigging workspace, as you can see, there are 4 workspaces: the home screen, rigging, recording, and stream. Also very fun while streaming this in Microsoft Teams nowadays, which is quite popular due to the awful virus at the moment. You can also join a Microsoft Team meeting or a Zoom meeting as your own character, so that's much fun. But I was talking about rigging. Rigging the character, these are all the Photoshop layers in here. Some have crowns, some don't, but basically what you could say is that every single layer or every single group with a crown listens to the animation, listens to the camera or the voice. It does the tracking for you. So these are all the layers in there, actually groups. So if we take a look at the mouth, there are several separate mouths in here, which will follow all the expressions that needs to be done. So lots of things to prepare. But when your character is done, hey Nathan, welcome to the show. Glad to see some activity in the chat, and I know somebody's listening, so that's pretty cool. Let me know what you think. So a lot of things that you need to do in order to prepare your character. But when you're ready, it's very easy to start animating. So for me as a teacher in animation, I always ask my students to take a look at one of the default characters from the main menu, from the welcome screen, and just take a deep dive in the layer structure of all these characters. Get familiar with them, and by getting familiar with all the layers of all the default puppets, you will be able to master your own character, or just open Chloe Photoshop or Illustrator and start altering all the layers. So that's very easy to do as well. On this rainy Sunday afternoon, I want to start with my own character in Photoshop. In Illustrator. Chloe was in Photoshop. But I've made this character a time ago for some Adobe Animate sessions. But I altered it a bit and made some extra layers for this Illustrator file, and came up with this character. So if we take a look at the character over here, this is Matthijs, my very own character. I've got an extra desk. The eyes are still separate over here, but all the layers over here have been made by hand and made sure that everything will work, and every single layer will be imported in Adobe Character Animator. So I also made all these mouths, but it was, I think, Friday that I came up with the idea to change the idea of all these mouths and create a facial mask, which is very important to wear at the moment. So let's see where it is. There it is in my classroom. And my idea in this animation was to start off really zoomed into the eyes, not showing much of the facial mask yet, and start a story about, hi, I am Matthijs, I'm an animation teacher, but nowadays it's not much fun doing lip sync with facial masks. That was my storyline, more or less. So what I've done with this character is, instead of adding all these mouth layers in here, I've added lots of facial mask layers in here for all the expressions. Basically just altered a bit, changed the scale of the facial mask, and in that way it will do some animation. So something like this could happen. So just switching on and off these layers will make sure that there is a sort of animation going on, which will work in the story. So if we go through these layers over here, I've got my desk, which I'm sitting in front of. Of course, hey Margaret, Nathan, two Nathans, cool. I've got my layers over here, but the desk, that's of course not part of my character. So that's just a layer which I put in front. The character layer is the layer with a little plus sign in front. So I already made that naming convention inside of Illustrator. Character Animator knows that this has something to do with animation because of the plus sign. Earlier in the session you've seen Chloe with all these crowns in front of the layers. That's actually the plus sign in Photoshop or Illustrator. So inside my Matthijs character layer, there's a head layer which moves along with the camera and follows my lead. The glasses, well, they are stuck to my head, so they will follow the head. There's no need to put a plus sign in front of it. But these layers, they move individually. I can raise my eyebrows while moving my head as well. Also, my eyes will move separately from my head, the mouth as well, and the face will follow along with the main group. So that's basically what we are doing. So everything with a plus sign in front of it will be able to animate. And of course, there's a body, which doesn't do that much yet. I can do something with my arms. Let's see if there's time for that in this session. And of course, I find myself in my classroom at school, which stands still as well in the background. So there's no need for a plus sign in here. So everything animation wise is focused on the Matthijs character layer. So let's save this file and go into Character Animator. If you have already worked with Character Animator, please let me know in the chat. That's going to be fun for me to know. Just going to switch off my camera, because Character Animator will switch on my camera as well in the interface. So let's start with a new project. There we go. Demo Bēhance. And Character Animator really wants to know where you're saving your file at start when you're starting with a new project. So it will do an autosave directly, so it is continuously being saved. So that's very safe in your classroom. So there, I'm back again. Let's make this a little bit wider. And this is my external webcam actually, which I use for my live sessions. But you can choose from every single camera that's attached to your device as well. So the FaceTime camera, which comes with my Mac, can be used as well. But this is a HD camera, so it's got more quality than my my camera by default on my Mac. So I want to use that one. Don't need to, I want to. And let's import my character, and then I will be able to explain the dots on my face. So let's go to File and import my character. Corona Bēhance. There we go. That's my my character. All the layers that you just saw in Illustrator. And I see some new people have arrived in the session as well. Welcome. And I want to create a new session based on this character. I already made sure that my default size in Illustrator is HD format, so 1080p. So when I create a character, I create a new scene based on this character, everything works out correctly. So I'm going to add a new scene. There we go. And that places my character and the environment on the main scene window. And now we can already see things are moving. It's quite painful, this gesture, or this movement. But Character Animator will give you some feedback that it already knows that this is the head. So that although it doesn't really look correctly yet, I'm pretty happy because it's starting to work. So that's pretty cool. All these dots around my face over here, those are tracking points. And these tracking points will follow, will make sure that the character will follow my lead. And there are some blue dots as well on my eyes. So those are my pupils, and the blinking works as well. My eyebrows already work. So it's just a loose head. Reminds me of Nearly Necklace Nick, was it called, in the Harry Potter? I don't know his name actually. Doesn't really matter. So in the recording window, I can already see that some movement is working, and that makes me very happy. But there are things that need to be done. So when I go into the rigging option over here, the other workspace, I can make some adjustments, and I'll actually see if things are working correctly or are rigged correctly. So let's zoom in. There we go. All doing still good in the chat. Let me know if you're here, and if there are any questions, please let me know as well. let's fold up these layers and let's focus on my Matthijs layer. In this case, you can see the plus has been removed and it's become a crown over here. I got my head, my glasses, everything is in order. And the funny thing with Character Animator is that you need to know your lefts and your rights. If you mix up left and right, then it's going to be some challenge. And you need to know that this is the right eye of the character and this is the left eye of the character. So for you as an animator, it's the other way around, but it's based on what the character's left and right is. So this is his left eyebrow, works perfectly. Because of that, the naming convention is quite the same as Chloe. Everything is tagged already. If it isn't tagged, if you've got your left eyebrow spelled in Dutch, for instance, then Character Animator doesn't really know what you're talking about. But then you can still tag everything on the right hand side. So if it doesn't know that this is the left eyebrow, just select the eyebrow. Click on the eyebrow over here at the tags, and then it knows that it's the left eyebrow. So that's pretty cool. So everything works, looking pretty good. So let's see what the head is doing at the moment. In the recording workspace, my head is really separate from the body. Ouch! So I need to fix that. And while selecting the head in the rigging workspace, I can see that over here is the center point of my head. And of course it looks more natural if the rigging point is over here. So that will be the rotation point. So let's select this head point and just drag it over. And now the body starts looking green. So if I let go over here, it is attached to the body. Will look better. Probably not perfect yet, but the rotation point is in place and it's connected to the other part. So let's see what it does in the recording. It's quite a bit of switching between rigging and recording, and see if everything keeps on working, or even going between Character Animator and Illustrator to do some adjustments. Let's do a rest pose. Now my head is back to normal. It's best to do a rest pose when you enter the recording workspace. So look in the camera, do a rest pose, and then the head is better on its place. Still coming loose. Probably that has to do something with the features, how flexible I am. And I am in my 40s, so I'm not that flexible anymore. Just kidding. Pretty flexible. Let's see what it comes with. What for features, physics. That's all the wind stuff. I need to do something with the face, and here is the head position strength, and that's set to 100%. So that's pretty flexible. So if I set my face position strength to, let's say, about 10%. Then it's more fixed to my neck. Still a bit flexible, but not as much, not that elastic, if you will. So that's already better. Let's zoom in a bit. Just a bit. Okay. So my mouth is already working. The facial mask does its trick. Everything is working actually. So that's already looking pretty good. Let's do 100%. There we go. I think this is good to start off with. So what I want to do now is make sure that my character follows the lead of the voice that I'm using. So I want to make a recording of my lines. So if I just start off at frame 0, I am doing that exactly, Margaret. I'm using separate mouths. Let me show you the Illustrator file over here. There are, instead of separate or different mouths, I've got some separate visms by using a mask. So every single mask is slightly different in order to see some movement in the facial mask, to make it something current, something that is sadly enough needed right now. There's already a video on my Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn as well, I think. So have a look over there if you want to see the final result. It's pretty fun. But what I want to do is show you how to start off with a recording if you want to use your own voice and do the acting with your character. Well, basically what you need to do is by default just hit the recording button and it counts down, and then you can start talking about Corona and the need for you to use your facial mask in order to make sure that it doesn't spread that much. And I already prepared my lines for that to make it a little bit more, that it makes more sense. But let's see what it does right now. So it's done its recording over here inside of Character Animator. We've got the audio and we've got the visms over here as well. So all the different facial masks are being keyframed, if you will. So let's see if I get the audio working. I probably can't hear it. Let's see. Talking about Corona and the need for you to use your facial mask in order to make sure that it doesn't spread that much. Well, that's the default one. I hope that you heard the audio. But all the keyframes are being set. So we've created keyframes for the mouths, but also for the character. So the movement of the eyebrows, the eyes, the head itself. Everything is being animated. If you want to do it step by step, or if you want to make use of a pre-recorded voice, that's also possible. So let me talk you through that and let you know how that works. So I'm going to do a Command Z or a Command Z. I don't know where you're from. Hey Tim, thank you. Glad you're here. I've already created an audio file, because that's what I like to do, make sure that my audio is correct already. I've put my audio through Audition in order to get rid of the wind outside right now, the noise in my audio. Make it a little bit podcast voice. So let's import audio file. There it is, no fun. Import. So this is my audio file over here. Down below, that's where my timeline is. So if I drag and drop my no fun over here, the order doesn't really matter, because you don't see the audio, you hear the audio. Then this should be the case. Hello, I am Matthijs Klaasner and I teach animation. I hope you can hear it. Sorry about that. The audio is pretty not loud enough, but I think that's the thing that we need to deal with while being live. That's the maximum. But my audio is in here already. So when I've placed my audio on the timeline, I can select my character and say to the timeline over here, compute lip sync take from scene audio. So let's enable that one, and then it will analyze the sound, and in my opinion it works best in English, but other languages comes close as well. And now all the audio is in here, plus the visms that I've used. Let's hit play. Not much to see because of the fact that I'm wearing my face mask, but it's got the keyframes in here, and it works, especially when you're zoomed in, which we're going to do later on as well. That will work as well. Now what I want to do, it's only captured my visms, only my mouth expressions. So I need to make sure that the head movement, the eyebrows and etc. are being recorded as well. But not again the audio. So I need to disable my microphone over here. Also what I need to do is disable the little red dot over here, the lip sync, because I only want to record these three items over here. The dragger, well, I'm not dragging really much as well, so let's disable that one as well. I need to use my eye gaze and the facial movement. That's something that I see my students do as well. Seeing the first time, being in touch with Character Animator the first time, see if the hands work. Not yet. Hopefully when the webcams start seeing more depth and become better, it will be able to do that, but sadly enough not yet. So let's do another recording, but then just focus on the expressions. 2, 1. Etc. I already thought that I was done, but now you've got your audio because of the mouth expressions because of the audio, and some extra takes for the animation of the head, and these are recorded right now as well. Meanwhile, in the chat, please let me know where you're from, because I normally go live a little bit later in the evening, but I just felt like going online because of the weather outside over here in the Netherlands. So let me know where you're from. That would be fun. Like I said, I think that the final thing that I want to do is add in a camera in order to make sure that I'm zoomed in at the start of the animation and then zoomed out completely to see the Character Animator logo as well, because that's the joke in there. So let's add a camera to the scene. So we're gonna add a new scene camera, which can be animated as well, not with use of your webcam, but just using the parameters in here. So adding a new camera from the scene menu will allow you to create a new camera layer in here, and this actually has got some parameters over here. I've got my zoom and my position over the X and the Y axis, and rotation as well, but I'm not going to do that. So let's zoom in and let's show all, so I can really focus on the head. And the cool thing is it's an Illustrator file, so I can zoom in without any issues at all. I want to see as little from the face mask as possible. It can be there a little bit, but I want to focus on the eyes at first, and of course create a keyframe for these positions and zoom options over here. So when I hover over zoom, position, X and Y, I've got my keyframes over here, and it actually looks a bit the same as After Effects. So my idea is to zoom out and create another keyframe. So zoom out again. There we go. See the entire classroom. Alter the position values as well. Something like this. And now I've got my extra set of keyframes over here, and that allows me to animate.
Hello, I am Matthijs Klaassen, and I teach animation.
Hey Roberto, thank you.
It's important for everyone to wear a face mask. That way we get the world back.
Okay, perfect. So these keyframes, well, they are not fixed. You can just select them and alter them if you will. Yeah, you can do anything with them what you like. You can also make a trigger if you're going live. It's pretty cool.
In these difficult times, it's important for everyone.
Guys, let me know in the chat where you're from. I'm very curious to figure out who is watching in what time zone. So please let me know. So this can be my animation. Well, it's just like a cooking show on the television. I've already prepared another project with some more keyframes done. There we go. Let's see where it is. Corona mask. And I decided in here to make a squared animation because I think I want to start off with showing these animations on Instagram. I will share my Instagram later on again in a few minutes when I'm ending this stream. It's already on Insta.
I am Matthijs Klaassen, and I teach animation. In these difficult times, it's important for everyone to wear a face mask. That way we get the world back as we knew it before. Because teaching lip sync in Character Animator nowadays just isn't fun anymore. So please wear a face mask in public places. Thank you.
And while going through this animation, I also was thinking about, well, I need to do something with text on it as well. So what I wanted to do is to render this out and go to After Effects. But of course, it's all Adobe, so there's a dynamic link between Character Animator and After Effects, or Premiere Pro if you want to. So when I go to File and Export, there's a dynamic link option as well. But that actually brings you to the website of Adobe, Adobe Help X, which basically tells you, well, you've got your Character Animator file, just import that file in Adobe After Effects and then you're done. So let's do that and go to After Effects. And this is actually another project. It's not here anymore. Let's start with a new project. So let's do a 1080 and width and height animation as well. 30 frames per second. Got that one wrong. 1080. There we go. So we've got our squared canvas, our squared composition, and now I can import my file. And let's import the demo one. So this is my Character Animator project, which I made during this session. And now it's going to figure out what scenes are inside of this project. Taking some time. Let's see, there it is. This is my scene demo Bēhance Character Animator. I only got one scene in there. And it's just dragging and dropping, and you've got your character on your timeline. If it wants to, there we go. And now I've got my animation here. So that's a dynamic link between those two tools. And of course, you can rearrange things a bit more. And when you want to alter things, just go back to Illustrator or Character Animator, make your adjustments, and it will update automatically in After Effects. And of course, when you're done adding your text on top of it, then you can export it out as an MP4 file and put it on your Instagram or something, making sure that people are wearing their face mask, because that's the important message of this animation. Let's see where I've got it. In the meantime, if there are any questions, please let me know. So this is my Insta, m.klaasner, and I'm playing this.
Each animation. In these difficult times, it's important for everyone to wear a face mask. That way we get the world back as we knew it before. Because teaching lip sync in Character Animator nowadays just isn't fun anymore. So please wear a face mask in public places. Thank you.
Thank you. Well spoken, well spoken. So that's basically what I wanted to tell you today on this rainy Sunday afternoon over here in the Netherlands. If there are any questions, please let me know in the chat. And also let me know if you enjoyed this session. Let's go back to Character Animator. And give it a few moments. Of course, you can find me on my socials. Well, I'll give you some time to come up with your questions and let me know if you'd liked it. Roberto, if you're still here, dope. It's a really fun comment, so thank you. And or else I would like to thank you for being with me over here on this Sunday afternoon, and hope to be back again soon on Bēhance Live. It's busy in the classroom, so I need to find more time to be online on Bēhance, but I'm really trying to do more fun stuff over here and sharing the wonderful tools of Adobe which I use in my classroom. Well, no more chat activity. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in another session pretty soon. Bye bye for now. Actually, there is one more thing. I totally forgot about it. So, hi, I'm back again. I wanted to let you know that I am planning a new competition with students worldwide again. And that's the Character Animator contest. This is the third year that we're doing it. And students are given a subject. In this case, it's COVID. And they need to express what they think of it, or maybe come up with a solution with use of Character Animator. So if you want to know more about that Character Animator competition, which is so much fun, already 7 schools worldwide have signed up, including my school, the Grafisch Lyceum in Rotterdam. So if you want to know more, please follow the bit.ly link, CH Contest 2020. If you are a teacher or a student and you want to sign up, please go to that URL, and then we're gonna have some Character Animator fun in the next 2 months. And that's really the end of the story. So please follow the link, and see you another time in another session. Bye bye.